Before you clicked this video, something inside you already knew this topic was for you. Maybe someone in your life called you selfish and you couldn't understand why. Maybe you've noticed you always need to feel special or unappreciated or misunderstood even when the people around you are trying their best. Or maybe, and this is the one that changes everything, maybe you've been hurt so many times that a part of you decided the only person you could truly count on was you. Here's what nobody tells you. Narcissism is not just about arrogance. It's not just about the loud, selfish person who posts selfies all day and puts everyone down. That's the one they show you in movies. The one they don't show you is quiet, sensitive, intelligent, sometimes even kind, and they have absolutely no idea what they are. That person might be you, or someone you love deeply. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand something about human psychology that most adults go their whole lives never knowing about themselves. Stay with me. This is going to go deep. Let's go back, way back, to ancient Greece. There was a young man named Narcissus. He was extraordinarily beautiful. Everyone loved him. Everyone wanted to be near him. But Narcissus rejected every single person who came close. He thought no one was worthy of him. One day he looked into a still pool of water and saw his own reflection, and he fell in love with himself so deeply that he couldn't look away. He stayed there, gazing, obsessing, until he withered and died, unable to love anything else. That myth is over 2,000 years old, and it describes millions of people walking the earth today. In psychology, narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD, is when a person has an extreme need for admiration, a complete lack of empathy for others, and a deeply fragile sense of worth beneath a very confident surface. Think of it like this. Imagine a balloon. From the outside, it looks big, impressive, full of air. But the walls of that balloon? Paper thin. One small pin and the whole thing collapses. That's the narcissistic ego. Giant on the outside, terrified on the inside. There are two types of narcissists, and the second one is the most dangerous because almost nobody can see it. The first type, the classic narcissist, you already know. Loud, boastful, the person who makes every conversation about themselves, the boss who takes all the credit, the partner who needs you to worship them constantly. But the second type, psychologists call them the covert narcissist, and they look nothing like the first. The covert narcissist is quiet, introverted, often shy. They seem humble, even self-deprecating. They'll say things like, "I'm never good enough," or "Nobody appreciates how hard I try." They appear deeply sensitive, easily hurt, often sad. They might even come across as a victim. But underneath, the same belief lives inside them that lives inside the loud narcissist. I am special. I deserve more than I'm getting. Other people don't understand me the way they should. Here's a simple way to understand this. Imagine two kids who both want to be the most important person in the room. One stands up and shouts, "I'm the best, look at me." The other sits quietly in the corner, looking sad, until everyone comes over to ask, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" Different strategy, same goal, same inner world. And here is the brutal, eye-opening truth. A covert narcissist often doesn't know what they are. They genuinely believe they are the victim of life, of relationships, of a world that never quite sees them for how special they truly are. This is the part that takes courage to watch. I'm going to give you 7 signs of covert narcissism. Be honest with yourself as we go through them. Don't panic if you recognize yourself in a few. Awareness is not condemnation, it is freedom. 1. You constantly feel unappreciated. No matter how much someone loves you or how hard you work, there's always a voice inside saying, they don't see me, they don't value me the way I deserve. You keep score quietly of everything you give and feel it is never matched. 2. You're deeply sensitive to criticism. Someone makes a mild comment, maybe just a suggestion, and it ruins your whole day. You replay it. You feel attacked, not because you're weak, but because deep inside, your sense of self-worth depends entirely on how others see you. 3. You daydream about being recognized. You fantasize about the day people finally realize how talented, how special, how underestimated you are. You imagine scenarios where you're given the credit you deserve. This isn't just ambition, it's an ache, a hunger that never gets full. 4. Empathy feels difficult in real moments. You can feel compassion in theory, but when someone else is hurting in real life, you sometimes find yourself making it about you. Their pain reminds you of your pain. Their joy makes you feel overlooked. You listen, but you're waiting for your turn to speak. 5. You use guilt to keep people close. Not always consciously, but when someone pulls away, you say things like, after everything I've done for you, or you go quiet, withdraw, and wait for them to come back and apologize. You don't see it as manipulation, it just feels like protecting yourself. 6. You believe your suffering is unique. Nobody has been through what you've been through the way you see it. Other people's problems seem smaller, your wounds feel deeper, and somewhere inside you, being the one who has suffered the most gives you a kind of identity. 7. Relationships feel like they're never enough. You enter relationships with high expectations. At first, the other person is perfect, then slowly they disappoint you. Not attentive enough, not devoted enough, not impressed enough. And one by one, people leave or you push them away, and you tell yourself no one is ever truly worthy of you. If you recognized yourself in 3 or more of those, stay with me, because this next part is the most important thing in this entire video. Narcissism is not born, it is built. Psychologists from Sigmund Freud to Alice Miller to Heinz Kohut have studied this for a century, and they all arrive at the same place. Behind almost every narcissist is a child who was not seen. Maybe they were praised only when they performed perfectly, only when they got top marks, only when they were charming, only when they made their parent proud. The moment they were ordinary, they became invisible. Or maybe the opposite. They were criticized constantly, made to feel small, useless, worthless, and to survive, their mind built a wall, a fortress, a special inner world where, in here at least, they were the most important person alive. The grandiosity, that need to feel special, is not pride, it is armor. It is a child's way of surviving a world that made them feel like they were never enough. The covert narcissist is often the most wounded person in the room. They built their personality around a wound so deep that they can't even see it anymore. But a wound that has a name can begin to heal. The fact that you're still watching this video says everything, because narcissism, in its true clinical form, rarely seeks help. True narcissists don't usually ask, "Am I one?" They already know they're fine. It's everyone else who has the problem. So, if this video made you uncomfortable, that uncomfort is actually a very good sign. 1. Name the wound, not the behavior, the wound. Ask yourself, when did I first learn that I had to be special to be loved? When did I first feel invisible? That moment, whatever it was, is where the healing begins. 2. Practice receiving, not just needing. The next time someone does something kind for you, pause, let it land. Don't immediately think about what you need next or how it wasn't quite enough. Just receive it. That is a muscle, and you can train it. 3. Seek a therapist who specializes in attachment and personality. A skilled therapist, especially one trained in psychodynamic or schema therapy, can help you trace your patterns back to their roots. That's where real transformation lives. 4. Stay curious, not defensive. Every time you feel criticized, attacked, or overlooked, get curious instead of reactive. Ask, what am I actually feeling right now? Is this situation really a threat, or is it reminding me of something older? These are not easy steps, but they are real ones, and any person willing to take them is already braver than most. The ancient Greek Narcissus died because he couldn't look away from his reflection. He mistook the image for the real thing. He loved a surface and starved for depth. But you are not Narcissus because you are here, looking inward, not just outward, asking questions that most people are too afraid to ask about themselves. And that right there is the beginning of everything. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Aristotle. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. Get that one right, and every other relationship in your life begins to shift. If this video made you think differently, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And if you want more psychology content that goes this deep, subscribe to this channel. Every week, we go somewhere most people are afraid to look. I'll see you in the next one.